Hi, I'm Laura Lein-Svencner, and I invite you into my studio space here as we talk about the art supplies that I use mainly in my collage, mixed media, and book arts. We're going to go over some of the mediums, art mediums, acrylic mediums, paintbrushes, stencils, papers, and tools that I use and I find quite helpful in when I'm creating my collage work. So let's get started. Let's talk about the mediums, acrylic mediums that I use to collage with an iron. It is now with the Golden's blue word there on the side. They rebranded. It used to be called Polymer Medium Gloss by Golden, but now it is with the rebranding of the blue on the side there that says the name. And it does say now Gloss Medium. Why I use Gloss Medium is because when it is dried and like on this piece of paper here, see how shiny it is? That glossy layer on both sides, plus your substrate, when heated with an iron, it fuses together, so there's no wet gluing. So this is something I've learned from Jonathan Talbot, and a lot of artists have been using that. So this is the best thing that I've used. People always ask, what about matte medium? Can't we use liquid matte medium, you know, not the gel? And I says you can, but it doesn't adhere as well as a gloss. Now, saying that, another brand that works, just in case you're around this, is Liquitex for the iron part, and this is gloss and varnish. This works the best for image transfers. So I just buy a big gallon of this, and then I use this throughout. But I do have other mediums in here, and this is one that if you can't find Golden and this is available, this will work for the process of ironing collage papers and adhering them together. So those are the brands there that I use, and I'm going to also show you another brand. Now this brand I use, and as you can see, I buy it by the gallon size, and this brand here is by Nova Color, and Nova Color also makes a polymer gloss medium and a varnish. It comes together like that. It works just as well as the gloss medium here. But the thing is you can maybe get this around someplace by you or have it delivered to your house. This one, you only can get it delivered to your house because they don't put this on this shelf. And I get it from California, so Nova Color is that there. So then another medium that I use in the process here is the shadowing and the shading. I like to use a satin finish instead of a gloss, but also by Golden, and it is a glazing medium. And I won't get into details about that. I'm just talking about the supplies. This does add a layer of color over all the papers and unites them together, and then there's a lot of rubbing off and adding and shadowing that goes on with that. And then at the end, Golden is now changed. You know, they do have a polymer, this is an old bottle of a varnish that's there, but you can find other acrylic varnishes to varnish your collage work. But these are the mediums that I use when I work with the iron and collaging the papers and getting them so that after I alter all the papers, then I give them that layer of gloss and they fuse with the iron's heat. That layer that's dried fuses to the surface. So if you're not familiar with this, this is just a little, you know, giving you an idea of where these mediums are used and in the work. So let's talk about the acrylics now. Acrylics is a paint. I like to use the Golden's fluid acrylics, but I know they have in other brands like Liquitex and I think even Michael's brand or whatever it is, they have fluids, and so they're not as thick as what you would find in a paste like this, but you can use this in your work, anything if you get the tube, and you can use the craft paints. But just to know, a little bit about them, you know, for the use of collage. These here, some of them are more transparent than the others. And they work well with the baby wipe and just rubbing on color, okay, and rubbing off, and you just kind of like toning the color of the papers. These here, you can use the ones in the bottle, like, or the tubes like this. For some things, you may have to add a little bit more water to it. And then these have a more opaque consistency to them, but you can use all different kinds of craft paints, craft acrylics that are there. There's these I use, and I'm bringing the gesso in right now because this is kind of a base for on your canvas. You can even use it on your wood panels, but I like to use it for an under altering medium, instead of using the white paint that's here, because it's, you know, it's easy, it dries really fast, you can scribe into it, you can do the same thing with the white paint too, but I like to use the white instead of the clear, which I don't have a sample of the clear, or the black. Now I'm saying that with the black, this may be interesting to see what it does to papers, and that is one of the things with the mixed media that we find it is very highly experimental. So if your curiosity has gotten to you and you go, oh, what if I try this or I try that, you know, give it a try and see what happens. It's not a mistake, it's an experiment, so you're going to try things and see how they work out. But I like to use the white gesso, not the clear, and then I was just actually given this, and this is a colored acrylics by Liquitex. I don't know where they sell these, but, you know, I don't pass up any free art supplies. So this was a black. So I use it in some things that I do. But mainly, you know, one of the things to think about is there's some drawing paper that I asked everybody to bring. And this way we can get some nice solid colors, you know, in here. We can find colors in magazines and use those, but not in large quantities. So we make our own papers in this collage class. So that's the acrylics. It's good to have some kind of water too, just in case, or a little spray bottle, these kind of things. I have these usually in my workshop, so I bring these things, but it's great to have like a little spray bottle because just in case you had to add a little bit more liquid, this is just enough for what you need. So on to some of the tools, paintbrushes, and drawing materials.